All right, family, welcome back. It is your favorite life and relationship strategist, MarshaunO, and I'm here to talk about how serving God strengthens your relationship. How serving God strengthens your relationship. As you guys know, I am a believer out here, and I wanted to make sure that I come and talk about God because God is an essential part in my relationship, and obviously with God, and then within my romantic relationship as well. I pray all the freaking time, and I wanted to come here and let you guys know that that is an essential part of the success in my own relationship, and to tell you how it's actually helping me strengthen my own relationship. And I want to pass along the knowledge to you guys so you can strengthen your own relationship as well, because as you guys know, being in relationships actually can be as harder than we would think, harder than we would actually suspect out here. And so making sure that you are aware of who you're actually serving and who you're giving your time and energy to is very important. And I don't want you to think that you have to serve your partner in the sense that you're making him or her your God. And that's what I mean by that. Obviously, you want to serve in your relationship because that's what relationships are all about. It's all about what you can give, what you can give to the other person of value. And being in your romantic relationship is no different. So I have 5 tips for you here on how serving God is helping me strengthen my own relationship. And so the very first thing is that it is creating and building a very strong foundation in my relationship, because there are just some things that you just don't know how to deal with. And you can talk with them with your friends, but if they never had firsthand experience with that thing, then you can still feel lost. You can still feel like you are on shaky ground. And so me serving God helps my relationship because it gives me that strong foundation. It gives me a place to go where I need to be in solitude and just speak to God as if he was literally right here as I'm speaking to you. Just being able to open up and share all of my worries, share all of my pains, all of my hurts, all of my worries, so I can get all of that stuff off of my shoulder, and I don't feel like I have to carry all of that around. God does that for me. So it's building a strong foundation in my relationship as well. The trust, right, is really increased. I don't do a whole lot of worrying about like, is he a trustworthy person, right? Because there's nothing that I can listen, there is nothing that you can do to make your spouse be a trustworthy person. That's something that they have to do. And in my case, that's something that God has to do through him. But maybe your partner is a her, so maybe through her, right? There is nothing that you can do to make your partner become a trustworthy person. There's nothing that you can do. There's nothing that you can say. That is all a part of their character. That's all a part of something that they have to want to do as well. Want to do and then ultimately do it. So it builds a stronger foundation when I'm serving God, and how it actually is strengthening my relationship. The next thing is that I practice giving my husband much more grace than I'm sure than I ever would if God was not a part of my life. Because as much as we know intellectually, yes, come in. As much as we know intellectually that none of us are perfect, we're always looking for perfection. We're always looking to never be disappointed by our spouses. And that's just something that's not going to never happen, right? So giving him grace, giving him the mercy, right? Giving him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't mean to hurt my feelings. That he didn't mean to do X, Y, and Z, which ultimately hurt my feelings, right? So I'm giving him the grace. I'm giving him, it's like, you know what? He didn't even mean to do that, or he didn't even mean to say it that way. He wasn't thinking, right? And so instead of me getting all into my feelings, which I can do that real good. So instead of me getting all into my feelings, I'm like, okay, he had an off moment. And so instead of me focusing on that, I am literally thinking about what he was trying to convey in that moment. Does that get him off the hook or whatever on how his delivery was? No, but it lets me let it go. It lets me not worry about it. It lets me hear what he was actually trying to say versus how he actually said that thing that he was trying to say to me. Okay? So it's me giving him more grace. The next thing is that You know what? Following God, He never said that it was going to be super easy, right? Y'all know how Jesus got done, right? So, never said that it was going to be easy, but totally worth it. And so, what's actually happening is that God is showing me my own truth of who I am and all my stankness that I'm bringing to the relationship and what I need to tighten up on myself. So he's showing me my truth when I'm talking about, listen, this has happened. This has literally happened several times where I was talking to a girlfriend or something, or maybe I was venting, whatever, I don't know, just talking. And then all of a sudden I'm like, yep, I see what you did there, God. Yeah, I see what you did there. I see what you just did there. I was talking about X, Y, and Z, and you let me see my own faults. You let me see my own, what I call truth, but you like, nah, that really ain't the truth. You let me see my own ugliness, the things that I need to work on. So I get that. All right, cool, God, I got you. I got you. Thank you. Okay, thank you for getting me together. I got you. The next thing that me serving God and how it strengthens my relationship is that I get to love my husband on a deeper level. Literally, it's moving more toward that unconditional love. That love that is very, very hard to attain in any relationship. Forget it just being romantic relationship. In any relationship, it's really hard for us to really show up and love this person unconditionally, to keep forgiving this person over and over and over again. And I think the verse is in Proverbs, but I can't remember anyway, where it talks about how forgiving the person 7 times and God's response is like, nah, 77 times 70. So a lots of times, okay? A lots of times that you keep forgiving the person. So I'm getting to love my husband on a deeper level, on a more unconditional level, and just being able to see that everything that I'm bringing to the table, everything that I'm working on, all the work that I've done, there is still more work to be done. I'm getting to see all of my truth. Good, bad, happy, sad. I am able to be able to see all of me and not the side that I want to see, which is always the good side, right? Or always the right side. It's just, it is what it is side. So that's that. And then the final thing is learn how to be service to my family first. And that goes to you as well. Because anytime that you serve God, you're serving God, and then you should turn around and take that same message and all of those learnings and all of those things that you're taking in from going to church and everything. You should be able to take all that stuff home to your family first and be able to apply all of that stuff to your family first. And then after you talk and do what you need to do and apply it to your family, and then you take it out to the world. So you should be able to serve your family first, after serving God, obviously, and then be able to take that message, then be able to take all of the things that you learned from that particular lesson out to the world. So these are the 5 things that I have learned with serving God and how it's strengthening my marriage, how it's strengthening my relationship, how I am becoming an even better person. Even though I've done all of this work, I'm becoming an even better person, a more mature person, a person of more growth and more integrity, just seeing the beauty in everything, and not having this woe was me attitude, and not looking at it like, well, I'm not going to do this because he's not doing that. It's like sometimes, as I mentioned before, which sometimes the person is not going to be able to give to you. And that might be their season of what they can give, which is nothing, because they're so preoccupied in their own stuff, and maybe they haven't reached the emotional maturity level that you have to say, I'm able to focus and do all of these things, of course, including with my spouse. Maybe your partner, maybe your spouse is not at that level. And so do you just walk away because they're not at that level? Or do you give them the grace? Do you give them the mercy? Do you give them the understanding? Do you say, okay, this is not his strong area, but where your partner is weak, you should be strong. And where you're weak, your partner should be strong. So maybe he's not able to give you, or she's not able to give you what you need in that particular season. But once that season is over, your entire relationship changes, your entire relationship flourishes, but you will never know if you give up. You will never experience it if you give up. You will never know if you're always pointing the finger. You will never know if you literally never have your spouse's back. If you're never that ride or die person for your partner, for your spouse, you will never know. You will never know. So my advice is to take a step back, is to get closer to God, especially if you are a believer like I am. Get closer to God, because the more you seek God's word, the more beauty that you will be able to find within your partner, within your spouse, and of course within yourself. Think about it, y'all. I love you guys, and there is nothing that you can do about it. I will see you guys in the next video. 2 finger salute, y'all.